I would just say he came from an average background to have a shot to be able to build a business that's global, that's scalable, that gives you the type income that most people would dream of is unheard of in other industries. And to somehow take away from what that has provided so many people is disgusting to me. I am a champion for MLM. I am a champion for network marketing. And anybody that shies away from it, to me, is a coward and is worse than being a coward. I think they are like really, really influencing people in a way that's going to do damage to their families. Hey guys, welcome to the Freedom Factory this week. The last episode of 2025. For my fans of this podcast, maybe your heart skipped a beat when I said the last episode for 2025, guys. But hard to believe that we've got this full year in. We did half a year in 2024, and here we are. And this time of year, I typically we'll do a lot of reflecting on the year, what we did. I've done this with the podcast, what we did well, what we want to do better. And the theme for today's podcast, the last podcast of this year, is similar. And that is kind of a way for you guys to reflect on this past year and what this podcast has meant to you, and if it's given you, if it's served you. My first message today is for 2026. As you go into 2026, take some type of accounting. Look through your activities. Give an analysis to 2025. And maybe on a piece of paper, write down, did it give you energy or did it take energy away? And I'm not talking about necessarily how you earn money, because that's always going to take energy. I hope that's not a news flash to you guys. There's no way to earn money that doesn't require your energy. If you're earning money, and when I say energy, it's your talents, your thoughts, your just you being present to grow the business, right? That's why you're able to earn money. Nothing is set it, forget it for life, especially network marketing. It's one of the biggest misconceptions. Yes, I could disappear for 3 months and the check will come in. I could probably disappear for 3 years and the check would come in, but nothing is forever. But I'm wanting you guys to every year improve. And it's been one of the biggest reasons I've done the podcast is I want the podcast to be something that serves you. So for 2026, what I want you to do is to look back at 2025, figure out the people that didn't serve you. And you guys know what I mean by this, right? That didn't add to your life. They didn't provide value to your life. And it's not just the people, that's one of the things you look at is who are the people in your life? Did they add to you? Like, were they cheerleaders for you, or did they kind of drag you down? Okay. And going into 2026, you need to minimize the amount of time with those people and maximize the time with the people who provided and served you. Okay. But you need to strip it down. The investments that you did, what served you, what didn't serve you. Your physical routines, I'm hoping you guys take care of yourselves physically. What served you, what worked for you, what didn't, and just take an analysis of all these different things and be really clear so that you can get more of what served you and less of what drained you. Okay. So here's kind of an idea or thought from 2025 about network marketing. it was a wild year, right? It was a crazy year, right? Lots of things happened in 2025 from a business standpoint that we just didn't see coming. Um, I saw some trends developing that I didn't like out of some leaders in these companies. And I made a point to make sure I didn't do anything close to what they were doing. Um, this whole social retailing thing and moving away from using the word MLM or network marketing, telling their teams and training their teams not to even use the word, it really ticked me off because there wouldn't even be this industry. The network marketing industry wouldn't even be a thing if it wasn't for the model itself. Okay. The products are phenomenal. There's phenomenal products in the network marketing space, the multi-level marketing space, and services. It's not just products, there's service-based businesses. But I can promise you that the products and the services are not what has made this model so amazing. It's the model itself. The ability for someone like me and maybe you who I would just say came from an average background to have a shot to be able to build a business that's global, that's scalable, that gives you the type income that most people would dream of is unheard of in other industries. And to somehow take away from what that has provided so many people is disgusting to me. I am a champion for MLM. I am a champion for network marketing. And anybody that shies away from it to me is a coward and is worse than being a coward. I think they are like really, really influencing people in a way that's going to do damage to their families. Okay. So if you want to sell product, that's phenomenal. And with some companies that have comp plans, you can do that. But let's be really clear. That is not network marketing. That is not MLM. And it is not residual. Okay. There's only one way to have a residual income, and that is to lead a team of people, serving people, helping them reach their goals, and then you get what you want. That is not anything. That is not affiliate marketing. That is not social retailing. Okay. That's a one-on-one thing. We had a podcast about that not too long ago. Network marketing is a team sport. So I saw some of the language coming out of these leaders and I knew it was wrong. And in 2025, it became very obvious it was wrong because their companies closed. Their companies closed. You know why their companies closed? Because the revenue was not there. You know why the revenue was not there? Because there wasn't enough people, there wasn't enough leverage to sell the product with just these super sellers. Okay. So you guys, you can mark my podcast. And if you don't believe me, just give it enough time. I'm right about this. I am absolutely right about this. And so I want 2026. Here's my prediction. My prediction is in 2026, there are going to be teams, there are going to be leaders that recognize this trend. The trend that if you want to be successful in network marketing, there's one way and one way only. You build a team, one team, not in multiple companies, one team, one company. And the age-old recipe is leadership development. You mark my words. There will be teams and leaders that finally figure this out, and they're going to have incredible years in 2026 because their focus is going to be on their own personal development and then the development of those leaders in their teams that will lead to the growth of their organizations. That's what I want you guys to do. When I started this podcast, I said, kind of make a list of what's serving you and what is not, so that you guys can clear a path for 2026 for yourself. I did a leadership call yesterday with some of my top leaders, and the call was about clarity and confidence. I believe there are a lot of people that have lost their confidence in network marketing. Like does this even work anymore? And that blows my mind because I can see on a grand scale that it works. It works. What doesn't work is the messaging that has been so prevalent through social media about what works in network marketing. And so my hope is that you guys get a firm hold on clearing things up for your organizations. And when I say clear things up, make it easy for them to understand what activities they need to do in order to have what they want. Not everybody wants the same things. So not everybody's activities are going to be the same. But make it very clear. In fact, I'll tell you here, we've kind of have a 3-step system. It's 3 steps to a 6-figure income. It's so clear. It's 3 numbers. And that type clarity makes it so easy to coach. Because if I ask you those 3 numbers, for one, if you don't know the numbers, I'll know you're not really paying attention to your business. Number 2, if you're not hitting those numbers, I already know how to fix it. It's up to you to go execute it, or up to these guys to go execute it. And the way you execute it is your own person, you becoming a better leader, you becoming someone that other people want to follow. We've had these type podcasts this year. Like, if people are constantly going around you to ask the upline questions, that's not a good look for you. That means they don't trust you. They're not confident in you. They're confident in someone else. You need to be the person they become confident in. I had it happen to me, and it would tick me off because it was very obvious to me what was going on. They didn't believe in me enough, or my response enough, so they would go around me. So I just became successful enough that they stopped doing that. They started seeing, oh, wait a second, maybe Brandon does have the answers. Maybe he does understand. And so that's what I want for you guys. I want you to have complete clarity on what the steps are. And if you don't know what the steps are, then ask enough questions, listen to enough of my podcast, because we've gone over these things. And then what I want you to do from there is to instill confidence in enough people, because where there's clarity, there will be results. And where the result, that's where the confidence comes in, right? So if it's clear and you're teaching people what the steps are, and some certain members of the team start to do those things, right? Those simple steps, they will have success. And that's what breeds confidence, right? You're never going to have confidence before you have results. You don't get clarity and then get confidence. You get clarity, which now you need action. That action produces results. And those results is what gives you confidence and what gives your team confidence. That's what I want for all of you, because I am extremely confident in network marketing. I am more confident now than ever because of what happened in 2025. Because in 2023, 2022, 23, 24, there were things being said and supposedly, quote unquote, these companies were crushing it. Little, did I know at the time they weren't crushing it, and only to find out they weren't crushing it because the companies went out of business or completely changed their business model. You don't change your business model or go out of business because you're crushing it. Okay. And so while I didn't like that happening in the industry, I didn't like that happening because people were like worried about network marketing. It made me extremely confident in my thought process and the way we do things, because it validated everything I had been thinking and saying for so long. This is not a profession of just selling product on social media. It's not. Can you do that? Yes. Can you make a 6-figure income doing that? Yes. But that's a job. And I think if you can sell that much product online, you should be selling something outside of network marketing, because I believe you can make more money selling outside of network marketing. That's just me being brutally honest with all of you. Now, if you can find a product that you like to yourself and you like to tell that story, and you match that with a business mindset and understanding the scalability of network marketing, there is no better industry than this. Look at me right now. I'm in a hoodie. I know it's the end of the year, so people are relaxed, but you guys, I get to call my own shots. And it's been that way for over 14, 15 years. And I can tell you guys that is the ultimate. If you're going to be needing an income, is to have an income where you call the shots, and network marketing affords that, but only if you guys have complete confidence and clarity. All right. And that's why I want you guys to make this list of things that serve you, because I believe 2026 is going to be a huge year for the companies and the leaders that understand what I'm talking about right now. So for all of you watching this, listening to this, just make a decision that you are going to be the leader that other people want to follow. You're going to have energy to give because you're getting rid of the things that's drawing energy away from you. The things that serve you, go get more of it. The things that are not serving you, stay away from it. Then use that surplus of energy to pour into your team at a high level. Communicate daily with your team. Pour in daily with them as much as needed to get their confidence high, and you watch what happens in 2026. It's a really simple recipe. I hope that this podcast has been something that has been valuable for you. The fact that you guys are maybe listening to this would show that it's valuable, but maybe this is the first one you're listening to. Go back and listen to the other 70 or 80 episodes or however many they are. And I believe you'll get extreme value from it. It's one of the reasons why I continue to do this podcast, is I believe so highly, so greatly in this industry that I wanted to create a legacy of recordings for people future that haven't even heard about network marketing yet, to be able to find this podcast and have a recipe for success. Have a recipe, no matter what company they're in, to be able to succeed in a big way. For those of you that are with me every week, you guys know the recipe. What I want you to do is get really serious this year. This is the year. This is the year, because there are a lot of people. Here's why it's the year. There are a lot of people that are not confident, which means they're kind of sitting on their hands, which means you have the ability to stand out. When others are not stepping forward, for the brave that are willing to step forward and step in, there's greater reward. And that's what I believe is going to happen. That's why I'm doubling down in 2026, because I believe there's a greater reward than ever in the past 10 years, because I believe people have been lied to for 5 to 8 years. And over the last 2 years, the lie has become evident. Network marketing is not about you just selling a product. Network marketing is about you falling in love with a product or a service, telling other people about that. And then for those people that have the business mindset and understanding the power of this business model, falling in love with the ability to improve people's lives through a product or service, but at the same time, build a massive global business that will secure your family's financial future, because of the way we're able to build and how we pay inside of network marketing. It will never happen unless you love the model. Put a ring on the finger of multi-level marketing and network marketing. If you are ashamed of it, you are not successful enough yet. I don't know anyone ashamed of MLM or to tell someone they're network marketing that's highly successful. And I think this is going to be one of the years where we start to turn the tables on people, where it's almost going to be a thing of, it's going to be starting to be cool to be in network marketing. I can see it coming. I can see it clearly. Like, I believe everyone is going to be involved in some type of network marketing model in the next 3 to 5 years, because I believe the economy is heading that way. It's forcing people's hands to have other streams of income. And what an incredible model where you can do this at your pace. You can work this in anyone's schedule. There's no one that can tell me they're too busy to do network marketing. That's a lie. And so get serious about 2026, guys. And this podcast is going to continue to serve you guys, I believe, in an even better way over the coming months and years. But I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you all for 2025. It was epic. And we'll see you guys next week in 2026.